when you are setting up a data center of excellence in your organization, the couple of key things you should start off with is first, what are the objectives? Why do you even need it?
Today, we are going to get to the heart of what really a data center excellence or what really makes the data center of excellence work successfully. At the same time, because you are small and you are just started your operation, you need to be a little more flexible as well in terms of your business operations. So how do you balance this both aspect? And as you scale, is there any specific thing that the COEs, successful COEs manage?
So if these things are not there from the very beginning, suddenly you realize, okay, we're doing a lot of work, but we don't even have a common data dictionary. We do have no way of ensuring that everyone understands the terms in the same way. If you are using a certain term, so is everyone understanding it the same way? There is requirement actually that you need a set of folks who may not be that great in actual hands-on technologies, but who understand the business very well, who also understand what kind of things can be done with data. So maybe you can call them like some people call them as data interpreters.
Hello and welcome back to AI Connect, where we discuss data analytics and AI. We are currently discussing a three-part series on data center of excellence. You have already seen the first two episodes, and if you have not seen, we will paste in our YouTube description the first two videos. You can go and have a look at that. Just for your reference, during those first two videos, we have discussed how to create the organizational structure within a data organization and the role of the emerging role of chief data officers and the importance of that role. In the second episode, we talked about the building blocks of a data organization. Today, we are going to get to the heart of what really a data center excellence or what really makes the data center of excellence work successfully. To discuss, I have Anirban with me.
Hey.
Welcome, Anirban.
Thank you, Jaideep. Nice to be here again.
Great. So today we'll be talking about, I guess, the third part where we are going to focus on when organizations are building the data center of excellence for the first time, what are the critical components that they need to keep in their mind?
Sure.
Can you share your thoughts on that?
Yeah. So when you are setting up a data center of excellence in your organization, the couple of key things you should start off with is first, what are the objectives? Why do you even need it, right? So you should be very clear what are the objectives of this center and what it will do, what it will not do. So those boundaries are clear and the success factors are known. Second is it should have the sponsorship of one of the senior most executives in the company who should be convinced and who should sponsor it so that this can become a success.
To gather the leadership support.
Exactly. Okay. Right. So these two are almost the foundational things that you should have when you start. And then you move to the next one where you have the initial set of people who join this is very important, especially the senior folks in different maybe technologies or functions or skills who are coming in. So you should have to ensure that they bring in the right amount of competence, experience, and knowledge so that they can help the center to grow in a nice way.
Good. Okay. So that is a good segue to my next question. So when initially they are setting up the center of excellence, technical roles obviously are the core of that. But what are the other initial roles they should be exploring beyond technical roles? And as the organization matures, will there be any more important role that you think are important to hire in your experience?
Yeah, that's a good question. So initially, when you start off, as you said, you will have folks across the different segments of the data life cycle. So you will have someone who is in the data engineering part of it, ensuring that the data is stored and processed in a nice way. Then you have the folks who are on the AI and ML side who are building the models and who are looking at this. And then you have the folks who will do the business analytics part of it, interpreting the data and providing insights to the executives, right? There is a requirement actually that you need a set of folks who may not be that great in actual hands-on technologies, but who understand the business very well, who also understand what kind of things can be done with data. So maybe you can call them like, some people call them as data interpreters.
Okay.
Okay, or so basically,
Are these senior roles, or
these may not be very senior roles, but these are people who will understand, okay, what the executives are looking for based on their function or role,
functional or
domain, etc. So if it's a finance guy who's asking for something related to accounts payable, then this guy can interpret that and tell the data analyst or the BI person or even the data scientist that, okay, this is what is required, right? So that interpretation, right, to going business backward and helping the team to understand. So you need to have a set of people who can do this, okay? Because otherwise, if the data analyst or data scientist is directly interacting with the business executives in the initial period, there might be certain friction and it may not work nicely.
Understood. Okay. So I am a little curious about in the initial phase, considering governance is a key aspect. How should organizations go about establishing that? One aspect is obviously governance would require some kind of a structure within the organization, some processes and so on.
Right.
At the same time, because you are small and you are sort of just started your operation, you need to be a little more flexible as well in terms of your business operations. So, how do you balance this both aspect? And as you scale, is there any specific thing that you see that the COEs, successful COEs manage?
Yeah. So you're very right that the governance framework is very essential. You should. So, and again, that will come down from the objectives that you've set up and the success factors that you have decided for the center of excellence. So based on this, you come up with a way that what all I need to do, what all I don't need to do, I will get it done from someone. So that way you decide. One is in terms of how will you interface with the other parts of the organization, whether it's the IT team from where you're getting all the data from the different IT applications, or whether it's someone else like from where you're getting the third party data, like marketing may have got the Nielsen data, and so they are giving it to you. That also can be used for analytics. So those kind of things, and then again you have to have the handoff in terms of what will you provide to your customers or users, internal customers and users. And so those kind of things have to be there. Then you should also set up a nice way for the knowledge management part of it. Knowing that, okay, because a team will grow, so if these things are not there from the very beginning, suddenly we'll realize, okay, we're doing a lot of work, but we don't even have a common data dictionary. We don't have no way of ensuring that everyone understands the terms in the same way, right? If you are using a certain term, so is everyone understanding it the same way? So those kind of things should not be there, and also the handoff and all should be very clear. So those governance processes and all the surrounding support functions should have been set up from the initial days as far as possible.
So one of the common aspects I think we have seen some of the COEs or Center of Excellence in their initial phase when they're set up, they grow nicely because the team is well structured and the governance is set up. There are roles which are defined well. But as they start scaling up, as they get more and more requests and they start scaling up, they tend to struggle with that, right? So is there a phase approach that they should be looking at while scaling their operations? What are the best practices that you see, at least working with now, dozens of data center of excellence?
Yeah, so I think what we've seen work is that you start off small, okay? So you look at only one or two initial, areas, not even the full function, but maybe certain sub functions within say HR or sales or finance or whichever it is, and then ensure that that whole thing works smoothly and you are able to show successful implementation, that you are able to provide valuable insights or recommendations to the business users, right? Then you take it to the next set of few people. Again, do it for them. So when you are doing all this, you also get to know that what things are working, what are not working. Because here, what happens is, one is of course the technology part of it, where you have different systems, IT systems or your own systems, where how you store data, how you process data, how you show and all those things. But then what also happens is you're also working on different people. So different people have different expectations of how they receive it. So whether some people are comfortable with Excel, some may be more comfortable with a dashboard in Power BI or Tableau. So how do you do that? Someone wants to see it on mobile, someone wants to see it on the desktop, someone has to get alerts, every morning. So all those things you have to see what people are expecting, and then provide in a way that is as far as those processes are or outputs are common across, and then you scale up to the next set of folks. And because if you have the well defined systems and processes, and secondly, if you ensure that the new folks who are coming in to be serviced by your COE are made aware that this is how we are going to do it, this is how it will work, and this is what it will get. Try it out first, and then we can always tweak it around, right? Instead of trying to do completely different things where it might fail. So if you do it that way, then it's easier to scale, is what we've seen.
Interesting. So, in terms of while they decide to work with, let's say, external partners, right? Because scaling, one of the key aspects that we have seen many data center of excellence is that they work with partners who can help them in their right phases to support their growth, right?
Right.
Is there any best practices that you see, maybe one or two that you can think of, that we can share with the audience in terms of how should they go about as a data center of excellence leader choosing maybe a right partner, or working or selecting a partner that they complement their skill and their skills?
Correct. So, as you are aware, we are working with quite a few large organizations with the data center of excellence. And some of the things that we see at work is, when you're looking for a partner, is if the partner has experience in similar area, then it makes it easier for them. Right? If you are in the retail space, then if the partners already work with other retailers or e-commerce players, it makes a difference. So, or if you only looking at finance FP&A area, and if a partner worked in that FP&A area, it helps because they understand most of the process. So you are not starting from zero in terms of teaching the people who are coming in from the partner side to help you. Rather, you're just telling them, okay, these are my company specific stuff. So that is one aspect that helps a lot to the folks. The second is also that here, because these are not very large teams you can create for each thing, right? So it's very modular, small teams of 2, 3, 4 people doing certain stuff. So it can be nicely integrated, and you decide who are the best people and mix them up. And that's how we've seen it works best, rather than trying to see, okay, this part only I will do, this part my partner will do. That kind of thing doesn't work unless there are certain places where there are certain pieces of work our customers have carved out and completely given it to us, kind of a managed services thing. And there it works best, because we are able to figure out, okay, what all needs to be done, what are the KPIs to be met, and deliver
Work it like an end-to-end basis.
end-to-end engine for our customers.
Got it. Recently, Prescience got SOC2 certification,
Right.
right? Can you share maybe one or two your thoughts on how this can actually help data centers of excellence.
Yeah, so this kind of certification, SOC2 or ISO, so these are very important because ultimately you are handling data, and unless you have very rigid processes in terms of ensuring the data is secure, that there is no misuse of data, and then of course how you use the personal information and all of the PII of your, whether it's customer or employers or whoever it is. So it is very important that you have well-defined processes and you are actually adhering to them. It's not just there in the somewhere in the drive. So from that perspective, it's very important, and we are actually quite excited to get this done, and we are expecting that this will also help us to provide more value to our customers.
Great, awesome. So I think, is there anything else that you want to add in terms of really taking off from the ground and scaling their operations? Any other aspects that I may have missed out?
I think we've covered most of it, and but again, I would say that it's because of the way the data is, encompassing every aspects of business. It's very essential that we quickly, when each enterprise quickly moves to this centralized data, center of excellence kind of a model, and ensure that there is right data, clean data available, and the right set of insights, recommendations, and all are being provided to the business users so that their work becomes that much easier.
Okay, yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. So I think with that, we will wrap up. To summarize, I think, we talked about structuring your data organization. We talked about the role of the chief data officers and the importance of it. We spoke about the key building blocks of data center of excellence. And today we discussed a few other important aspects in terms of really what are the initial consideration the data centers of excellence need to have when they're setting up their operations, particularly going from the nascent phase of initial organization. Are the technical roles are enough, or should they have or hire other roles that are more kind of cross-functional between business and tech, and understands the demand of business and convert that more into the technical requirements? I think those roles are critical for the success of data center of excellence. We also discussed the importance of governance, and I think that plays a key role, especially in the initial phase where there is a structure, organization structure, and then that needs to support the governance related requirements. But when you're scaling up, how do you balance that, especially working with external partners and internal teams and so on? And I think that kind of covers almost the breadth of what we wanted to cover as part of Data Center of Excellence. So if you have any other further questions related to Data Center of Excellence, do let us know either through our YouTube by commenting on the video, or drop your questions on our LinkedIn official handle, and we'll be happy to answer or address those questions. Meanwhile, we will also urge you to see the first two episodes, and with that, we will wrap up today's session. We will come back with another episode focusing on another interesting aspect of either data analytics or AI. Nirban, thank you for your insights today.
Thanks, Jaideep.
I look forward to talking to you again.
Sure.